Hey, everybody. So, as reluctant as I was to go live on camera because my roots are ferocious, this message just had to be said, and you need to see me as I talk. You just do. The mirror of things. Like, we are not exempt, and we're talking about this card. We're talking about this card right here. Okay. Take the best advice you've recently given. You are not exempt from taking it. We've had this conversation in the August readings. We've had it in past conversations for as long as I can remember now. Everybody in this entire world exists because of you. Everybody is in your mirror for a reason. Every single person exists because you open your eyes to receive it. Everyone. So if you are all over in your mirror, right, your inner reflects in the outer. And every single person that you interact with on a daily basis is reflective of your own inner state in some which way, shape, or form. There is no exception. None. Everybody exists because of you. I had a conversation with a soul sister of mine right before the August readings, right? And it even came up in one of the reads. And I had given her some advice. And I knew damn right well that I was not exempt from taking that advice. I was not exempt. She is my beautiful soul sister in my mirror for a reason. She exists in my world because of me, no different than I exist in her world because of her. We are in each other's mirror for a reason. Hey, Risa. So I gave her advice to let go of the situation because she's no different than the person that she was upset about. She's just like them, just like them. And that was a hard pill to swallow. And I knew that she was not going to be the only one swallowing that jagged little pill. I had to swallow it too. I love my son. But I'm not blind. I've dealt with addicts my whole life. And just because it's not drinking or drugs doesn't mean it can't be video games. Ever since I left my job back at the end of March, finances have been pretty fucking tight. And we are not in any position to splurge on expenses at all. I gave him $50 for the week so that he could have money for food at work. And then whatever was left over, he can roll it over and save it, which has been his big complaint, that he hasn't been able to save money. And my work's not bringing in enough. He wants me to work. I don't feel guided to it. So, mostly because I know how it would go. I know him so well. I know how it would go. I don't feel guided to it. And I know what Spirit's doing. So, he ended up, I had a conversation with him. I'll backtrack just a little bit. I had a conversation with him about 2 weeks ago because I've been getting all these different reels and things pop up when I'm on Facebook about, video game addiction, how there's some class action suit or whatever against the big companies because they target children, they target people, and research how specifically to get people addicted to the game so that they spend money on it and play for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. And I said something to him. And I said, you know, if you feel like you need help with it. And he was like, oh, I'm not addicted, right? Typical addict response. I'm not addicted. I don't need it, blah, blah, blah. I just enjoy it a whole lot. Yeah, said every alcoholic ever. And I was like, okay, you're not addicted. That's fine. I'll give you an opportunity to just be right. I'll give you that opportunity to be right. Right? And not even a week and a half later, I gave him $50 for food and to save whatever was left. He just started his work week with 11 cents in his bank account because he blew it on games. And he didn't sleep enough before work because he was busy playing his games. So I made a choice. And it sounded like an ultimatum at the time, but it kind of wasn't. It was kind of, this is how it's going to be, and this is how one route's going to go, and this is how the other route's going to go if this route doesn't go the way it could, should, would go. He looked into the military over the last few days at my own suggestion because I sat and prayed on some stuff. I prayed on some stuff. And instead of getting angry, and it was right with the new moon, right? It was literally the day of the new moon. I was like, I have a moon event. I'm not going to have an incredibly volatile conversation with my son on this new moon, especially because it's opposed Pluto. His Pluto the Pluto in the sky is conjunct his moon and Chiron. So this, even though it was a new moon, it was like a full moon for him. The sun was opposed to his moon exact. And I knew being harsh was not the way. So I just refrained, right? My saggy ass fucking refrained and just prayed on it for a while, meditated on it for a while. And I said, Spirit, there's got to be another answer besides A or B. And there was C. So I suggested that he think about it for a couple days, the military. Because everything he wants from life, everything he's expressed, the military opens that door. So I said, you think on it. It's a decision you have to make. I can't make that for you. But you have more than just options A and B. Had a conversation with my soul sister, literally like 2 hours later. Right? That conversation where I knew I was going to have to take my own advice. And then he pulled what he pulled this weekend. So I told him he's got 4 to 6 weeks to prep for his ASVAB test, the pre-one that he has to pass before they actually let him take the real one. Because he did take one and he didn't pass it when he first went into the recruiters, given it was just after a 12-hour shift. Hey, Christina. Yeah, just started it. He just took the test after like a 12-hour shift and hadn't eaten yet. So, we wrote it off as, your brain wasn't there. That's fine. But he still needs to pass it. So I told him he's got 4 to 6 weeks in preparation to pass his pre-test. The guy there, the head of the recruiter's office there, gave him an app to study from to help him improve his scores. So I told him he's got 4 to 6 weeks to pass his test and start that process and better his life and choose better for himself, or he can go stay with his dad. Because I know from experience, I've been with addicts my whole life. My whole life. They've been in my mirror my whole life. And I cannot depend on addicts because they cannot depend on themselves. And I refuse that mirror. I will not have it. I will not have it in my life, in my mirror anymore. Period. Even if it's my son. He's an adult now. He's a grown man. He can make grown man choices. He's responsible for his own actions. He's responsible for his own actions. I can't save him from himself forever. Can't save him from himself forever. So I gave him the choice. He can do what he needs to do for himself and pass his test and get his life going, or he can go with his dad. And he can be in whatever mirror he chooses, but it's not going to be in mine. It's not going to be in mine. I'm not going to be taken advantage of. I'm not going to be made to feel guilty. No. Hey, Lala. And this whole thing transpired, one, because Spirit's fucking brilliant. Spirit started lining it up days before I even had that conversation with my soul sister from another mister. But this card kept ringing in my head. Take the best advice you've recently given. You are not exempt from taking it. And I gave her the same advice. She's got to choose what's in her mirror, because as long as she stays, she's just like the person that she can't stand. She's just like them. And it's like, you know what? I can't stand it either. I can't stand it either. The addiction in my mirror. And I might not be addicted to alcohol. I might not be addicted to video games. I might not be addicted to whatever. But I've been addicted to pain and suffering my whole life. I've chosen addicts my whole life. Addicted to disappointment my whole life. Addicted to the reset, the rebuild my whole life. I've been there, done that. The reset and the rebuild, I've done that my whole life. No more. No more. This is your divine reminder. Whatever advice you give, you have to take it. You have to take it. 9 times out of 10, it will be in pertinence to the person you are literally giving the advice to. And that 1 time out of 10, you're going to have to take a really good long look in your mirror and figure out who exactly it is. And for me, it was my son. It was my son. Because I knew my soul sister wasn't going to let herself down. I knew she wasn't. Spirit was in my head the whole way, guiding me the whole way, talking to her, because he knew it would ring a bell. He knows who she is. He knows how tuned in she is, how brilliant she is, how open she is to healing. I knew the way Spirit was in my head that she was going to choose her highest path, which means I had to choose mine, and the advice I was being given didn't pertain to her. It did pertain to the only other person in my mirror every single day. He's the only one. My son is the only one. There is no one else. No one else in my mirror but him. That's it. I have no friends that come to visit me every day. I have no boyfriend, nobody that I'm dating, no neighbors that I talk to. It's just me and my son. That's it. I had to take my own advice. No matter how much we don't want to take it sometimes, no matter how much we want to deny, no matter how much we want to deny that it doesn't pertain to us and we're just the guide, we're just the teacher. We are forever both the teacher and the student simultaneously. They are not separate. They are not separate until you are alone in your mirror. Until you are alone in your mirror. And even then, you will be having those conversations with yourself, with the facets of yourself You are never exempt. You are never exempt from taking your own best advice. Ever. This is why the mirror is so important. This is why the mirror is there. The divine mirror is there to help you live your best life, to help you heal. People say God doesn't exist. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Your whole existence is God. Your whole existence. You and everything in the world around you, it's all God. Your two eyes are meant to register the mirror so that your mind's eye can fucking read it correctly. So that your mind's eye can read it correctly. Why is this in my mirror? Why am I seeing this? Why am I hearing that? Why is it in my mirror? You got to see it from right here. All three eyes work together. They work together. Why do you think the symbol of the Illuminati is the triangle with the eye at the top? It's not about seeing with these two eyes. It's about this one. These two it's the foundation. It's the base. But this is the eye that sees why you're here, what you're healing, guides you so that you can see what you need to do. It is when you tune in there that you master your life. That is when you master it. And you really do have to understand that if you have people in your life and you are giving advice to them, it is because you need to take it. You are having a divine conversation with yourself. For those of you who end up new here and don't know what the mirror is, there are two different kinds. There's the one-way mirror and there's the two-way mirror. The two-way mirror is when I have a conversation, right, with somebody else. They are a facet of my inner world talking to me. They're telling me I'm a lazy piece of shit because I believe it. They're telling me that they're proud of me because a part of me believes it even when I don't. That outer experience is a two-way mirror. My son standing there telling me I'm not addicted. There's a part of me that likes to think that. I'm not addicted to pain. I'm not addicted to disappointment. I'm not addicted. I'm good. And then there's a part of me in him that fails. A part of me that can't say sorry to myself. A part of me that's mad because I got called out in my one-way mirror that I'm an addict. And I'm not tolerating it anymore. The facet of me that gets upset. Don't tell me I'm a failure. Don't tell me I'm not good enough. No, you're not. You have to become. You have to become better for you. You cannot stay this way. That's the two-way mirror, where the outer experience relays something back to you and your belief system about yourself. That's the two-way mirror. The one-way mirror is when a mirror slides down between you and whoever it is you're talking to or whoever it is you're texting, as if you were having a conversation with your fucking self. And that person in the mirror is spirit. That's your highest self. Talking to you about you. So when I was having that conversation with my soul sister, saying, he's not your person. He's not your person. Spirit was screaming at me in the mirror. He's not your person. He is not your person. My masculine energy, the way that I'm thinking, that is not me. Depending, thinking that I could be in some kind of dynamic with an addict, that's not it. He is not my person. I cannot depend on him. He is not a safe person for me to build my life with. The foundation is shot, right? It has cracks. I can't build on it. That's the one-way conversation I was having with me. You're just like him. I slid that mirror down between me and my soul sister. Spirit is yelling at me. You're just like him. You're just like him. That's the one-way mirror, because you are constantly in conversation with yourself. Constantly. Yeah. Hey, Juanita. Hey, Shock. Hey, Rafaela. How y'all doing? So you have to decide what you want for your life. You have to be able to look in your mirror, both of them, and read it with your third eye. Read it. What are you seeing? What are you hearing in that conversation? Because everything exists for you. Everything and everyone exists for you. So what is it Spirit is teaching you? What conversation are you having with the divine around you to help you heal back to yourself, capital S, your source, capital S, your creator? What conversation are you having to break out of this up system? This lower 3D vibration, what is keeping you from elevating to that higher mind, that higher connection of gratitude? Truth and love go hand in hand. And you can't have one without the other. So you have to be able to hear the truth and see the truth for what it is in your mirrors. Take the best advice you've given, no matter how hard it is. Because at the end of the day, I would rather be the villain today in his story and the thank God she did that later. I would rather be upset in the short term and deal with the difficulty in the short term than deal with the upset and the difficulty for the rest of this life. I am never more awake than I am right now. Letting this life cycle die, letting it end, and being reincarnated here to figure it out all over again, I will come back in blind. I am never going to be more awake than I am right now. I am never going to be more aware of my three eyes than I am right now. So shame on me if I don't use them. Shame on me if I don't use them and I come back to this fucking hellhole. Because that's what it is. It's only beautiful once you see. It's only beautiful once you see. Once you're listening with divine ears and seeing with divine eyes. That's when life becomes beautiful. That's when we transcend the difficulty. That's when we get out of it. Everything else isn't going to serve you. It's going to repeat. It's going to repeat in these karmic cycles. You know how many times I've got Mars in my fourth house? You know how many fucking times my home life has burned down and reset with Mars in the fourth in Libra because things aren't balanced? My balance is in my home. And I've depended on addicts. I've lived with addicts my entire life. And it's constantly burning and resetting from the ground up. I'm over it. I don't know about y'all, but I'm done. I'm going to be 40 fucking years old this year. I don't need this shit. I don't need to keep burning shit down at fucking 40. Like, come on. This is the conversation I had with myself. Are we over this? Are we going to move past this now? Are we going to choose better now? Are we ready to receive the sweetness of life? Are we ready for that? Are we ready for that? Can we choose that grace? Can we let go of the instability? Like for good? I said, fuck yeah. Fuck yeah. I will choose it for good. I will choose it for good. I will never let an addict back into my life. I'm not going to let an addict get back into my life. What is an addict? An addict, as I sit here with my vape, right? An addict is someone who lets a third energy interfere with their highest good. People can enjoy a drink. and it not interfere in their life. People can enjoy a vapor or cigarette and have it not interfere in their life. People can enjoy video games and not have it interfere in their life. And some people do. Some people drink and it interferes with their relationships. Some people smoke cigarettes and it interferes in their relationships. Some people play video games and it interferes in their relationships. Some people gamble, no big deal. Some people gamble, it interferes in their relationships. It causes chaos in their life. I'm addicted to addicts. I'm addicted to the reset. Not anymore. I quit today. It interferes in my life. It's a third energy that interferes in my well-being, in my happiness, in my life. I've been having these revelations all week, navigating the black mirror, diving deep into the 12th house. Like Uranus in my 12th house now blew the door off my 12th house. Uranus blew the dang door off. Yeah. Be the villain. Yeah, if you got to be the villain. But that's the beauty of the 12th house. The angels get demonized and the demons get angelified. That's okay. If someone wants to vilify me for being their angel, so be it. So be it. But I refuse to be the angel who's really a devil in my son's life because I allow it. I refuse to have him paint me as an angel who was there for him his whole life and supported him his whole life to my own detriment and prevent his healing and be in that way, to stand in his door, to stand in his doorway like the devil. I will not. I will not. I would rather be the villain, knowing that in truth I am the angel. That is the 12th house. That is the mystery of the 12th house. The people you think are your greatest angels sometimes, supporting you through everything, truly are your villains because they're in the way. And the people that you would vilify sometimes are your angels. That's why I have these cards. Let me pull these cards out for you. This is why I drew my own deck. This is why. Because other decks can get it. These cards. The broken mind. This is the 12th house. When we have angels right in front of us, but we perceive them like a villain and like a demon, and vice versa. This is why I drew these cards. To remind us of what we're doing. Because if we could see them for who they really are, then we escaped the black mirror. If we can see an angel for the angel that they are and hold gratitude, then we escape the 12th house. The self-sabotage, the illusion, the self-undoing, the fear that is the 12th house. You get out when you start seeing angels for angels and demons for demons. That's okay. He can vilify me today. He can vilify me today. He can hate me for a decade. He can hate me the rest of his life because he's going to know the truth when he crosses over. As a mediumship, I'll tell you right now, they all do. Every single person who passes away sees the truth as soon as they cross over. And they realize every thing that happened for what it is, the truth. What everybody's intentions were the entire time. Why everybody did what they did the entire time. Why do you think we reincarnate? Because we didn't fucking get it and we're pissed. Because we had a mission and we failed and we try again because we don't give up. We don't give up. So we come right on back. My job is to make sure here in this life that as I transcend, I bring as many people up into that higher vibration with me so that we do not have to come back to this place. It's heavy here. It's dense here. There's other dimensions of higher vibration. Why would we stay here? Why would we stay here? It's beautiful. So are the other dimensions. They're beautiful. And if you want ice cream, you can manifest it. You don't have to work or drive or go anywhere. It's just there. In this reality, I can't have milk. In a higher reality, I can. I can't wait. I can't wait to eat ice cream. And not feel sick in my stomach. You know what I mean? Like, there's more to life than this. There is more to life than this world. There's pain and suffering here. There's pain and suffering all around. I don't want anybody to feel like they have to come back here because they didn't learn something, because they didn't see. You think those higher ups, that top 1% don't see? They see it and make sure that we don't. They see it. They know it. And they make sure that we don't, to the best of their ability. The thing about divine information is anybody can tune into it and download it if they're open to receive it, which is exactly what the guy did. Just like you can, just like other people have. It's been across all religions. Look at all ancient religions. They all talk about it. They hint at it. And all of those texts have been disturbed to keep you from understanding it truly. But if you look at all of it, it's all there. It's all there. Be willing to see with all three of your eyes. Be willing to take the advice you gave. To know every single time you give advice, you're not exempt every single time. Every single time. I love y'all so much. Spirit guides me to this channel every single time I go live. It is never forced. Never. I literally do only as I'm guided by spirits. I'm present for a reason. I'm present for a reason. This conversation in your mirror with me. Why Spirit pulled me to be on camera myself for the first time in like 2 months is because we needed to have this mirror. You and I and you are one and the same. There is a part of you that knows this. That is why it's in your mirror. You know it on a deep level inside, and you can fight it and you can deny it, and Spirit will bring it back up forever because you can't forget it now. You can't forget it now. You tuned into that special part of yourself that's deep. That is divine. You've tuned into that part. We're willing to see that facet of truth. And I know damn right well it hits different. The truth hits different. Do not let your addictions, these third energies, whatever they are, from people to belief systems to patterns, well beyond just substances. Look at them for what they are. Hey, Lorraine. Look at them for what they are. And choose no more. No more. If I were my own guardian angel, what would I do to protect me in service of me and my highest? If I were my guardian angel, what would I do to protect and serve me in the highest? I'd pull myself out of an addict's mirror. I'd pull myself out of pain cycles. I'd start helping me connect the dots. I would tell myself it's okay if they think you're the villain. It's okay. They'll thank you later. And if they don't, it don't matter. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you got to have gratitude for the healing. You got to have gratitude for the healing. People see what they want to see when they're ready to see it. But Spirit wouldn't be having the conversation with you if the divine time wasn't now. This one, it's always now. That is a forever present moment card. That is written in the present tense. Your mind, your eyes don't have to malfunction and not communicate properly. The miscommunication between you and the divine doesn't have to happen. You and the divine can have that clear conversation all the time. All the time. I'm just a girl that grew up in some house in fucking New Jersey to an addict father and a mentally unstable mother. Had my son when I was 21. And I tuned in and figured it out because I was sitting in my ex's house, the quote unquote one that got away, right? The one that I look back and realize he was the only one in this life that ever actually loved me. At a time when I didn't even know I was lovable. At a time when I didn't know what love was, or how to receive it, or how to give it. I was not ready. But I was laying in bed, and he was at work, and I was crying. And I had laid in that bed and cried every day so many times. Because he was coming home and I would have to pretend I was happy. Because he gave me everything. He gave me everything. And he was emotionally intelligent. He was considerate of me, always. And I couldn't understand why I was crying every day when I had everything. And I was laying in bed and I was praying to God. For the first time in years, I was praying to God, please, please help me understand why I'm so sad. And I looked up for a second at the ceiling. And the sun was so low in the sky that the way it beamed through the windows, and I never had those blinds open, never. I had them open that day. I opened them up, and I don't know why I opened them up earlier in the day and forgot. And as I'm laying in bed crying, praying to God, the way the sun hit the window and landed on the ceiling, it was a cross. It was a cross. And if I questioned Jesus before that day, I did not question Jesus not that day or a day after since. I knew God heard me. I knew God heard me fucking praying. Because I saw that cross on my ceiling. On my fucking ceiling. And I stopped crying and I took a deep breath. I said, okay. Whatever you would have me do. That's where the mantra started. Whatever you would have me say, whatever you would have me do, wherever you would have me go, if it is in the highest good of all, so be it. And I left hobby. I left hobby shortly after because I needed to find myself. I needed to figure out why I was so unhappy. And I met T 2 months later. I went from the highest of highs to the lowest of lows and vice versa. They were both at the same time because I was never lower in my own energy than when I was with the best person I could have ever been with in my life at that point. And I was on my highest of highs within myself when I was literally at my lowest energy with T. The lowest manifestation. That was abuse through and through. But I'd never felt love like that before. Never felt the desire to pour like that before. The masculine and feminine, light and shadow flip-flop. I went from light feminine, high receiving with low masculine energy, can't choose it, to being in my highest light, highest masculine energy, and my lowest, darkest shadow feminine, receiving the worst experience. And learned from the two. I went on that journey and I figured it out. Why do I have everything? Everything I could possibly want, and I'm still crying every day. And God answered and showed me over the course of the last 8 years. 8 years. That's why I'm here sharing my experiences with you guys. Because I know I'm not the only one that goes through these things. Where we have beautiful people in our lives and we're miserable and we're not happy. And we are horrible to them. Horrible. I was horrible to Javi. I could have been worse, given I know I could have been worse. But I had him thinking it was his fault and that he wasn't good enough because I was sad and I knew I didn't want to lose him, but I didn't know how to improve either. You might as well have slapped the narcissist word on me. Having him believe it was his fault. Yes, I did apologize to him. Yes, I did. In hindsight, I apologized to him back in 2018. And I just reached out to him for the first time since then to thank him for being my angel. To thank him for showing me what it was like to receive beautiful energy because no one had ever given it to me before and no one has ever given it to me since. And I wouldn't know what it looked like at all if it wasn't for him. And I thanked him for that. I said, and if I can't possibly repay you, then I hope thank you is enough. And I'll hold this gratitude for the rest of this life and the next because I look for his love in everyone. I look for the love and the consideration and the time he gave in everyone. And if they don't meet up to his standards, they're not for me and they're not meant for my life. They're only going to cause me pain. So I thanked him. Understand? You have to hold gratitude for the old versions of yourself, for the old mirrors that you had. Because when you start to connect the dots, you heal. And there is nothing but truth and love and gratitude here left. Really. If God decided to take me tomorrow, I'd feel whole and complete. I wouldn't have any regrets. Not one. Not one. And I can't think of a better way to live. I can't think of a better way to live. Really, 12:12 on my clock. I love you, Tom. I hope this message helped you guys. Yeah, the dots are finally connecting. Yeah, Lorraine. Yeah, I hope this conversation helped you guys. Because everybody has to have that conversation with themselves. Everybody has to open up all three of them eyes. Everybody has to look in both those mirrors. So long as we are on this earth, we are looking in both those mirrors. Don't forget it. Rewatch this video as many times as you need. As many times as you need until looking in both of those mirrors becomes second nature. Until reminding yourself that everything is here for you is second nature. There is nothing out there in your experience that is separate from you and here. It's all reflecting in here to out there, all of it. Doesn't matter how many times you need the reminder. Yeah, it's painful, but it's necessary. Pain's a great teacher. Pain's a great teacher. And we do get addicted to being that teacher for other people and forget that we're the student. Pain is a powerful teacher. And if you think you are only the teacher, you will live life in pain. The student learns. The student gets better. That's why failure is so important. That's why failing, letting yourself fail is so important, because when you fail, you start to figure out what didn't work so that you can do what does work. I am not my son's teacher. Life is his teacher. Everybody in his mirror is his teacher. I'm not the only one. I am most definitely my own teacher, though. And he is most definitely mine. I'm a student. No different than I'm a teacher. It's when we realize that we're humbled. Stay humble. What is the divine teaching me? The divine who loves me unconditionally and would never have me suffer. Never. The divine loves me and cherishes me and would never have me suffer. If I was the divine that loved me unconditionally and would never have me suffer and gave me the free will to choose, what would I do as the divine to help me choose love over pain? What would I do? Pain is a powerful teacher. Pain is a powerful teacher. And I know there are things in life that are unavoidable. And I know that pain is a part of it and it's unavoidable. But I'll be damned. I'll be damned if I put more pain on myself than necessary. Repetitive pain, same cycle pain, like no thanks. If I'm going to feel pain, it's because I want to learn something new. Not because I want to repeat the same damn pain over and over and over again. That's bullshit. Hey, spiritual journey, how you doing? Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of karmic things closing. A lot. Saturn and Neptune. Oh my God. Saturn is the teacher that is pain. That is Saturn. That is karma. That is the Lord of time. Neptune is both the delusion and the sole source of life itself. Neptune is faith. Neptune is God. That's the vibration of Pisces, the darkest of devils and the highest of highs. And they're retrograding back into Pisces together to close a significantly long cycle. It takes Neptune decades, over 100 years to go around the zodiac. Over 100 years. And it's closing out this cycle with Saturn. It's retrograding in with Saturn, and it's going to re-enter into Aries together with Saturn. The divine order of God is taking place, and it is either going to be pain or salvation. It is. It's going to feel that way. It's going to feel that way. And by the time Saturn comes back around in 30 years, everybody who was in pain because they didn't get salvation now, they didn't choose to see it now, they will see it in 30 years. I promise you they will see it in 30 years. And they will realize that everybody they had been vilifying for the last 30 years, they were so wrong. But it's going to take them 30 years of pain being a teacher to figure it out. And that's okay. That's okay. We're all best friends on the other side. We're all best friends. We all love each other on the other side. It's here that we forget. It's here that we forget that love is real. But on the other side of things, love is all there is. No one hates you on the other side. No one. It's just here that we forget. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Yeah. Suffering and sacrificing through childhood traumas. Yeah. Yeah. We think we're the angel. We think we're the savior in people's life, and we're the damn devil standing in their doorway like, you shall not pass. We're not helping them. We really do have to choose to look in our own mirrors and save ourselves, because that is when we truly let other people choose for themselves. Like, I don't know where I'm going to go from here. All I know is it's not where it was going. My son has choices to make. Spirit is giving me time and space here with him to be in his mirror because he needs it. No different than I needed it. Just like he has 4 to 6 weeks, so do I. And life is going to change. And life is going to change. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. Yeah. 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 Spiritual journey, I get it. Sometimes we hurt people unintentionally with our own wounds, and sometimes we, quote unquote, hurt people because we know their wounds and we can't feed into it anymore. Either way, we're the bad guy, and that's okay. That's okay. Had I not left Javi, he would have been the devil in my doorway, parading around like an angel. I'm so good to you. I give you everything, blah, blah, blah. And I would have been miserable. He would have been the devil in my doorway. And T, who was the biggest chaotic catalyst in my life, the villain of villains. He was the fucking angel that pushed me out of myself. He pushed me to love myself like no other. He pushed me to choose myself like no one else has ever done in my life. I'm literally on this journey because of T. The devils and the angels of our lives. Life isn't what it seems. Neptune, things are never what it seems. And we have to be able to see past the illusion that is Neptune to the God that is. The God that is everywhere in everything. That is omnipresent in you and everything else. That is exactly what we're talking about. That's the mirror. God is literally everywhere. It just depends on how you want to see it. Everything exists for you because you open your eyes. It's just for you. If your eyes closed, the experience wouldn't exist anymore. It literally exists just for you. Nobody else sees it the way you do for a reason. It's for you. So what conversation is being had between you and the God that is everywhere and everything? God didn't abandon you ever. Every time you open your eyes, God's there. Every time you close your eyes, God's there. It's everywhere. Just, do you see it or not? Do you see it or not? Thank your angels. Thank your angels. And thank your demons. Because they help you see where you're broken. Because they help you see where you're broken. Take the best advice you've recently given. Because that's your mirror. Lead by example. Lead by example for the other mirrors that exist in this world. Show the way. Show the way. That is the first step. That is the first step. That's what you should do in any kind of situation. Look at the mirrors. Look at the people in your life and what advice you're giving. And start applying the advice to your life. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, the advice you're giving is going to be about the person you're giving the advice to. 9 times out of 10. And then there will be that 1 time out of 10 where you know damn right well you have to apply it to the one person in your life you wish you didn't have to apply it to. Because that 1 person out of 10 that you gave that advice to actually took your advice. Which means it's not them that you have to apply the advice to, it's someone else. People don't normally take advice that we give, right? People usually do the opposite. They don't normally take the advice. So 9 times out of 10, if you give advice to somebody and they don't take it, you're going to have to apply that advice to them. But if you give advice to somebody and they take it, that person is meant to elevate with you And you have to apply that advice to somebody else you need to let go of in order to elevate with who you need to elevate with. And it's usually the person that you really wish it didn't have to apply to the most. There is great freedom and liberation in soul when you can override fear and let go of what you fear losing the most, including fear itself. Navigate your 12th house. If you haven't already, you should totally check out my Substack. All the links are in the description. My new Navigating the Black Mirror channel and the Substack, which I have been more active on than anywhere else. Substack. I've been writing a lot. Uranus is in my 12th house in Gemini. I'm writing a lot. And it is all to serve whoever needs it. All right. With that said, guys, we're an hour in. I'm going to let y'all go. I love you and appreciate y'all for being here. And for being here for yourself. Right? For manifesting this conversation for yourself. Like, be fucking proud of you. The algorithm is not kind. It's not kind. You know? So if you ended up here, if you found here, you really do love yourself. You do. And you want to love yourself and you want to love your life. That's why you're here. And I'm proud of you. Most people will never see it. Most people will never see it. But you did. But you did. And you should be really proud of you. Divine loves you. Wants you to see. Wants you to love your life. Wants you to love yourself. Wants you to look in the mirror and absolutely love who you are. Truly. With that said, guys, I will see you next time. Bye.